we will be talking about law, all right? So this will be quite an interesting session. We will be able to discuss many topics. We will start with some warm-up questions. Once we are done with that, we will continue to read an article about Malaysia. This is related to law, of course. And we will be able to answer some comprehension questions and some discussion questions, practice our speaking skills too. All right? So let's go ahead and start with the warm-up. And I would like to know a little bit about each one of you. So we will start with the basics. What do you do? And are you interested in learning about law? Well, let's say laws. And you can tell me a little bit about that. So let's go ahead and start with you, Amelia. So Amelia, what do you do? Do you work? Do you study?
I am a worker. I work as a safety officer. And yes, for my career, it's important to learn everything about law, about labor laws and safety.
Okay. Well, yeah, absolutely. If it is related to your career, of course, it is something you should know about, right? And how do you try to keep yourself updated when it comes to law? Do you like to read the news? Do you like to take some courses about law? What do you usually do?
I usually search on internet the compilation of the laws about safety and worker laws, and two, I like to go to courses to develop the knowledge.
Okay, and also you like to go to courses. Well, that sounds really good. Yeah, I think that with law, you can never learn enough, right? There are always new things that you can keep on studying or trying to research too. So that's really nice. All right, excellent, Amelia. Thanks for your answer. Turkey, let me continue with you. So what about you? What do you do?
Actually, I'm studying English now in United States, and I like to know about laws and anything new, only to discover something new.
Okay, that sounds really, really good. So you like to know a little bit about law in general. Yeah. Why do you think it's important to know a little bit about laws?
Because sometimes when you put myself in some situation or hard situation, can I make myself more confident?
Absolutely. Yeah, this can help you out in some difficult situations, right?
Yeah.
So it's always good to know. Thank you so much. Yes. Great answer.
You are welcome.
All right, Trung, let me continue with you. So Trung, can you share with the class, what do you do?
Yes, I'm working in logistics, and now I'm very interested in learning about commercial law. Yes, because our customers import and export the customers to the U.S. and some country in the world, and I want to learn about the law. I think every country have their own laws, and I have to learn a lot of law. But I think we have the law commercial global in international laws for commercials, and I try to learn something for help my job is better. Yes.
Sorry, I muted myself. Absolutely. It is really important. And in this case, it is also related to your job, right? If you're in logistics, well, you should know a lot about commercial laws for sure.
Yes.
This can help you out in difficult situations, just as we were saying before. Thank you so much, Trung. Great answer. And let me continue with Ilse. So Ilse, what about you? What do you do? Are you interested in learning about laws?
Yes, I am a student in high school, And yes, we have to know the laws for any situation in daily day.
Okay, very good. We need to know at least a little bit about laws for our daily lives. That's true. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing, Ilse. And now let me check real quick on Wayne Young. Let's see if you can hear me now. Wayne Young, hello? No? Okay, I will try to send you a message and you can let me know. And well, guys, let's go ahead and start working with these lesson materials. Remember, I told you we were going to read an interesting article about Malaysia. So what we are going to do is simple. We will read it together. We will answer some comprehension questions, and we will be able to share our thoughts about these at the end. All right? Let me go ahead and start sharing my screen. And this is the one we will be working on for today's lesson. All right? Oh, sorry. So let's go ahead and do it. Right? And well, can you please help us reading the title? Only the title. Yeah. Amelia?
Oh yes, Malaysia says it will end death penalty for all crimes.
All right. Very, very good. And we have two paragraphs right here. So let's read one paragraph each. And Turkey, can you please help us reading the first one?
Okay. Malaysia, a new government said it will abolish the death penalty for all crime and fault. All binding executions, a rare move against capital punishment in Asia, that human rights groups called Thursday as a major advance.
Excellent. Thank you so much for helping us with it. And Trung, can you please help us reading paragraph number 2?
Okay, more than 1,200 people are on death row in Malaysia, which mandate hanging as punishment for wider range of crime, including murders, rust, trafficking, arson, kidnapping, and acts of terror.
Acts of terror. Correct. Thank you so much for helping us reading that, guys. That was really good. And by the way, that's my dog crying. I think she wants food. Sorry about that. All right. So what we are going to do right now is try to listen to the recording so that you can pay attention to the pronunciation of some of these words, okay? So let me start playing it, and please read as you listen so that you can really focus on these words. Yeah, here we go.
Malaysia's new government said it will abolish the death penalty for all crimes and halt all pending executions, a rare move against capital punishment in Asia that human rights groups hailed Thursday as a major advance. More than 1,200 people are on death row in Malaysia, which mandates hanging as punishment for a wide range of crimes, including murder, drug trafficking, treason, kidnapping, and acts of terror.
Mm-hmm. Very good. So we will start talking about these texts. We will start answering some comprehension questions and sharing our ideas. But I would like Ilse to start. So Ilse, can you please give us a brief summary of this article? What was this article about?
About the penalization in Malaysia.
Okay, penalties in Malaysia. Mm-hmm. What kind of penalties are there in Malaysia?
Death penalty.
Correct. We were talking about that. Well, very good. So let's talk about death penalty a little bit more. And I would like Amelia to start with, please. So Amelia, what exactly is death penalty?
When someone is killed by the government for when they made a crime, a very big crime to the or the laws.
Very good. So this is, when someone is killed as a consequence of a crime they committed, right? Very
Yes.
good. What kind of crimes, Turkey, this one is for you. What kind of crimes are there in Malaysia? Or what were the crimes that were punished with death penalty?
Murder, drug trafficking, kidnapping, treason, like
And
something
acts
like
of
that.
Very good. So these big crimes, right? Murder, we know this is killing somebody. Drug trafficking, well, we know it's stealing drugs, right?
Treason.
Treason. It's being disloyal to your country, right? So they also punish this with death penalty. Kidnapping, well, this is taking someone without consent, right? And acts of terror, right? So all of these were with capital punishment, right? Capital punishment is the same as death penalty. All right? So very, very good. And what is happening in Malaysia now, Trung? Are they planning to abolish death penalty?
There has a policeman for the mandatory handing.
Okay. So they will stop using death penalty in Malaysia, right?
It
They
means
will no longer
I
use
don't
death
understand because last up new work and
yeah,
it
we
means
had a lot of new ones,
it stop.
Yeah, abolish is stop. That's right. When we abolish something, it means that we eliminate it, right? So they will get rid of these capital punishment. They will stop.
It
death
means
penalty.
when the rammers then when they die and they not pay the penalty.
Well, it doesn't mean that they won't pay a penalty. So they will probably be in jail or in prison for a really long time. But it means that they will not be killed as a consequence of their crimes. Okay? So this would be the only thing that changes. Of course, someone who commits a crime, will still have to pay some kind of punishment. But these punishment will not be with their lives, right? They will be able to just serve some time in prison and then go out and continue living, or maybe just stay in jail forever, right? But
Yes.
they will not be killed as a consequence of their actions. Yeah? Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay, excellent, Trung. All right, guys, so we know what's going on in here, right? We said that they were trying to stop the death penalty, and this is the new government in Malaysia. And this is something that, of course, human rights groups are praising, right? Because this is something really positive for human rights. But now I would like to stop sharing my screen, and I would like to ask for each one of your opinions just to see what you think about this new law. If you agree with capital punishment, or if you would prefer not to have capital punishment, in your city, in your country, for example. Okay? So I would like to start. This is what do you think about capital punishment? Remember, this is the same as death penalty. So let's go ahead and answer that. All right? And I would like to start with Amelia. Amelia, what do you think about capital punishment?
In my country, I'm from Mexico. We don't have death penalty, but I think
If there is a
good option for a big crimes that people commit, because prisons are too crowded from people,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes are people that have a full content. I don't know how to say, when they spend the rest of his life in jail.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
In that example, I don't know, it could sound too rude, but it's like the same to be in jail the rest of your life, or to
Yeah.
be.
That is right. So this would be a life sentence. You're talking about these. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's true. Some people have a life sentence, right? So this means that they have to spend the rest of their lives in prison paying for their crimes. That's true. But in Mexico, you don't have death penalty, you said, right? Do you think
Yes.
it would be better to have a death penalty in Mexico instead of just having life sentences?
I say it again. I don't want to sound rude, but for me, it's okay, the death penalty, because we have a lot of people in jail, and it's too expensive for the government to take care of them.
Okay, that's true. Well, you're talking about some concerns that, well, a lot of people who support death penalty use, right? It can be too expensive to take care of people in a prison, in a jail, and sometimes they decide to have a death penalty instead. That's true. So it would depend. What kind of crimes do you think should be punished with death penalty?
Murder, traffic drugs,
Drug. Mm-hmm.
yes, and treason could be.
All right. Well, that sounds really good, Amelia. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. Yeah, it's
Thank you.
not that you sound rude or anything, so don't worry about it. It's just an opinion. So thank you very much for sharing. All right. You
Thank
did a
you.
wonderful job. Yeah, now let's continue real quick with Turkey. So Turkey, what about you? What do you think about death penalty?
I think is very good law, because we need to always make kill someone or make a big crime. We need to be justice for us. When someone kill man or women, we need to be just for a family killer, family who's kill him, right? I think it's good for and make our environment safe, and because no one will do crime, and it will be safe.
Okay, that would be true, right? No crime
Yeah.
would be unpunished anymore. And this would be a very interesting measure of using justice, right?
Yeah.
What kind of crimes do you think should be punished with capital punishment? You mentioned murder. Are there any
Murder,
other things
yes.
that you think should be punished this way?
I think also kidnapping,
Kidnapping.
especially who's kidnapping girls or children. I think it's
Okay.
very dangerous.
Very good.
And
Oh, yeah, so we could talk about human trafficking as well, right? So human trafficking, this is when they sell girls, when they sell children, right?
Yes.
True.
And tourist, maybe tourism.
Mm-hmm.
All this kind.
Okay. Well, that sounds really interesting. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts about these, Turkey. You did a wonderful job. All right, let's continue real quick with Trung. So, Trung, what is your opinion about capital punishment? I would like to know.
I think in Malaysia, if they stop about death penalty, I don't like it because if they stop, and I think it's more harm will happen. Yes, I think, for example, in Vietnam now, more harm happen every day because the law for the this harm is not too hard. It's not too hard for people thinking about their 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 they're doing, and because it's to not hard flaw, so easy people easy to become the ram. Yes, I think it needs more. I think killing people is not good, but if they not a good person and they have many they maybe kill someone, and why we have to still alive but continue to kill other people? I think it's a not good idea. And maybe in Vietnam, some ram like tusk or rubber, and it's easy to kill people if people to protect themselves. Yes, when it happen and it's easy to killing people, I think the most important thing in our life is humans. But the people not killed or harm with the other people, with other humans. I think we should have to the 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 harsh penalty. Yes. For example, in Vietnam,
Okay.
when they rob and touch, and when the police arrest them and judge about some month or 1 year in the prison, and after that they will continue to become a third a robber, and it's not they don't they don't care about this because they still continue. I think we have to more penalty for this. I I we also to hope they can stop and become the good people, but they still. I think we have to need the hard law and heavy law for the Rams.
Yeah, well, that's true. Maybe having these capital punishment will make people stop and think before they commit some actions or some crimes, right?
Yes.
And well, it could be interesting to see what happens in Malaysia, right? You say that maybe the crimes will increase, the crime rates will increase. And well, who knows? That's a possibility, right? But of course, as you said, it's not nice killing someone. But if that is what has to be done to stop crimes, well, maybe it's worth it. Yeah, that's true. Thank you so much for sharing that, Trung. Excellent answer. All right. And I would like to continue with Ilse. So, Ilse, you're the only one left. Tell us, what do you think about capital punishment? Do you think it should be done? It shouldn't?
I think it depends the place because, for example, in Europe, at least 70% of people it's good and have a other culture. And in Mexico, it's different. It's so bad the penalty and something like that. I think it's good in Mexico because the people think before to act, and it depends the crime too, because
Yeah.
the
Yeah, that's true.
jaywalkings and um, mm, I don't know how do you say merecer.
Some people deserve. the capital punishment?
Yes.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, yeah, it depends on the situation, right? I think
Yes.
it would depend on the crime. It would depend on the person who committed the crime, right? Some examples that we had, for example, Trong was mentioning that if a person is continuing to do something, they don't learn their lesson, maybe they should get a bigger punishment, right? It depends on the circumstances, for sure. But well, we were reading about this new law that will abolish death penalty in Malaysia. And it would be interesting to read a little bit more about the topic to see exactly what happens in Malaysia after this law is approved, right? So thank you very, very much for all of your help, guys. Do you have any questions about the session before I let you go? No?
No.
All good?
That's
Okay,
okay.
I'm happy.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Okay.
guys. So thank you very much for joining the session today, Amelia, Turkey, Trong, Ilse. It was really interesting to hear about your thoughts. And well, this is such an interesting topic that we could continue discussing it for a really long time, right? But
Yes,
unfortunately, I have to let you go now. So thank you guys for joining. I really hope to see you next time. And well, enjoy the rest of your day. All right?
Thank
Thanks
you.
a lot, guys.
Yes.
Thank you,
Bye,
everyone.
Paulina,
See
and
you.
everyone.
Bye.
Yes.
See you guys.
See you.